forever, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained with...
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you.
Ex-love. Ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eye.
Somehow, you know what it is. A caprice to name a motor carriage. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has written, was this not the same Elo that founds empires and lays waste to cities, virile, uncaring towards the little things? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just a vague impression of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, as you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. You liar. You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors, and for Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume, if it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness. Aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice canema, you have some understanding. Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. Humanity has run aground in that time. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blue. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in. The lights are off. A terrible mistake. The lights are off. The blades come squeaking to a halt. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the... It says whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban... The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand. but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. They both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about
Hello, officer.
the young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 20. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this. You've been here for 3 days. On official police. Couldn't say. In truth, so far.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something. The words have already left your mouth.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on. No. You see, that's not what you said. You said... Come on, man. Pretty, please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you? Don't be. It was funny. And anyway, who gives... So what if you can't pull grade A pussy anymore? There are other things in life. More meaningful, more fitting for a man your age. This is Fata Morgana. It's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on, somewhere inside. Still no answer. Still nothing. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Exactly. It's measured, level-headed, through a PA system by other people. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious. No, don't sing the happy song. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting as everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it. Most likely, this is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola. The small steel tag says as much. The Great Skua. Stercoarius Skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird.
No, I'm not the bartender.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a bartender. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't like...
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your...
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for... As you approach, he narrows on the sleeve of his bomber jacket as well as on its back.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Prison 57. You must be from...
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon. But
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually.
what he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here, it also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern. After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation,
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the...
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was...
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was doing. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind. 5th century style. Unified currency and the concept of cool came in their wake. They wore lamella and carried guns.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is... What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take...
The cafeteria manager stands silently. Isn't it evil? The order of magnitude between what is asked of a person and what they have. There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
You mean somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union squeezed most places out of business to fund the strike. You'll...
I'm sorry I couldn't help more. You should take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car, okay? We have to get this investigation started now.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, And this place, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. I don't know anything about that either.
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police.
No need to worry, we are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Since the street sign's messed up? Oh, that's right there.
Even all the way over here.
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements, the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. After the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But it's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. No problem. Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair. It's raining again. It was clear just on me. I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying. Well, as you already know, there's a corpse there, hanging from a tree.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can...
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the...
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestor... Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
command, man. I just said, welcome to Rivachol.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you...
Silence. The air between your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes. Probably.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit-in apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Look, as detective. I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow him down South Yekokata. A beautiful...
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those Koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
He means the people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk. Those degenerates from Grad. Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovic someone. Low self-esteem those guys have. Mind you, they look Occidental, but they're not really like us. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise? Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So he'd remain unaccountable.
Yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter. Had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our... someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines. Not at all. We are part of a guild and everything, huh? It's very ancient. Very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they... trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter. It's about biological determinism, natural law. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally,
We Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any mojitos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you avoid the calamity to come.
Lieutenant Kisaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. But not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to a...
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum, her shoulders tense. She shuffles back, only slightly. The lieutenant frowns at you, before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult. tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like... You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. Oh, that's the tear machine.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Pity.
Let us work! When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work from other people.
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the...
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire his shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with... He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to...
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were...
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you?
No, don't think we've met before.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards, and I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer, or whatever he is. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. It is the seal of Royalist-era Revachol. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money." Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing, though. Nothing to worry about, really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike, though. I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs. My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini Supremus is there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could convert to a Semini Supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. No, sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Yes,
It means alcohol.
Correct. My by small skulls. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Rolam Al-Ghul have fed you people. Go on believing in it. Why don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenital.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al-Ghul. You Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like you dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic, you will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity. Bring your troops to the Simenine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the owls to almost...
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. The best idea.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from... Of course it does. You are a degenerate individualist, and I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race. The South Island race, Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We are the future. That is all you need to know. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I know. I have heard about it on the radio. I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simenistre. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits.
The lieutenant does not.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then, to you, he lets out an audible sigh.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayolite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth. You have There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with it. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königstein.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru, in some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wood.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North, Königsteiners, all have type A race propensities. The other large mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic as proven by the Maun and the Mesk. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Simonese inhabit the southern island. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Simonese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ilmaran to Ansuland, thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun written Occidentals did.
Wait, didn't Ilmaran desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
No, those were scimitar-wielding race losers of Zahrava, Izzet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants.
Jean, baby, you're on fire.
I know, babe. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more type A races, and type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and view pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for the Khoiko. The countless micronationalities of Grad are all inexplicably obsessed with Potat. The only thing they like more is...
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simonese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos. The Vasholians, halfway between type A and the racial Cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zaraz-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that the revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant. Enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures with lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic edu. Then there is the Semino-Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Semino-Koiki Chimera? It is the Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precise, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied? You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery. We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way without becoming a race theoretician.
We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our...
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music?
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork vapor emanates from the large engine on the back. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Caprice Kinema. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat. A scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I...
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st...
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist?
Under the green Prime Line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default...
Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is... Oh.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly,
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom? What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business.
God, why can't you just mind your own business?
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually. Yes, I know. It's just... Was there anything? No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. You know how it is. Yak, yak, nag. No, you're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. What misogyny? I'm just telling things the way they are. Can't a man... You have to act, Lieutenant Love. You have to calm that hysteric down. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're just a gimp. What?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Fellatio, and you're listening to Street Freaks.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns...
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect it to someone? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. A radio, a metallic drawer, slides out from under the seat and clicks into play.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective.
The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snaps. You can do good work with these. It's robust, weatherproof, and well made. Lets you see things in the pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going anywhere.
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah, nappa comfy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the dick!
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rock.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno! Ride the lightning, Kuno!
Kuno's riding at sea.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such. You will see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id. There will be no reasoning with those creatures.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh?
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Kuno's fucking. Kuno uses the fucking for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the popo phone. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
You're testing Kuno's patience.
Get lost,
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying, trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Everybody, please!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late! Fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno! No! Get off Kuno, you sick fat...
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
No one? Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
Help! Mister, he's flashing Kuno!
You put him up to this yourself when you decided.
Listen to your friend. Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno! Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopath.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno...
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that. There's a dead body, remember? That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit.
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You're just Kuno's bottom bitch!
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember...
Click, 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 click!
The fuck about it? Kuno's fuck imp.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. You're testing Kuno's. Get lost!
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Get your snout out of Kuno's ass. Kuno knows how hard Kuno pushes it. You should give up, Popo, or the Kun will keep fucking it.
You okay, Kuno?
That went wrong. He took it as a compliment. Then he had a minor seizure.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno? You already know that slow shit. Shoot that shit at Kuno doesn't fucking...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils. The smell is repulsive. You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from... The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shit.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
Hello again, officer? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
There he still is, looking right There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nor does the wind right now. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty...
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize...
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid rhythmic pattern. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing materials. Glad you asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vartna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes. Number 4. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. 5. Another standard work boot. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace. Same make, impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. 8. And yet another standard work boot. Number 44.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? A woman or a kid? Understood. Anything else? 200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? A drummer only uses their right foot for the kick drum. You're right, it's stupid. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machine...
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Mm-hmm.
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hang...
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last one.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken...
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was... Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. They all stood in a row. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over. Hoisted him up. What? The lieutenant's eyes narrow.
Either way. What else?